How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel. I can see a lot of people thinking I'm catching Z's. No, I did wake up late, though. I missed the first fight. I was up late with the little one. I can't even lie. He didn't want to get to sleep tonight, so here we are. Here we are, man. Apologies for people waiting from 3:30. But as I tend to do on these UFC watch-alongs, I start from the third fight. Well, the third fight leading up to the main event. And here we are, literally just kicked off with the Front and Yanez fight as well. I caught half of the Kevin Holland fight just at the end of the first round, and it looked like he won that round clean. He won the second round clean. Third round, his legs were taking something, but in the end, he came out with a knockout. So, and a good stoppage. A good stoppage. Oh, this Front and Yanez fight's got the potential to be fight of the night as well. I can't even lie. Should be a good one. I hope everyone's well. There's 150 people here already. So hit the like button. You know what to do. Saba, I see you there, my guy. I hope you're well. Who else? TVG in the building as well. Quite a few people. Quite a few regulars. What a finish. Come on. It was a good knockout. Tim says the Gastelum fight was lit. I might have to just go back after this and rewatch that. What was that? The main on the prelims. The thing is, usually I just stay up and just watch it all through, but I couldn't do that tonight. It is what it is. Who am I backing? We'll get into it all. We'll get into it all. Who have I got for the main event? Who have I got? The main event's a tricky one, you know. I'm gonna go for Pereira, if I'm honest. And this is coming from someone who used to call himself a fan of Adesanya. Over the years, he hasn't really been that electric, good to watch guy. Tries to get the job done in minimal fashion, and I get that. You extend your career; it's not an easy sport. But yeah, and I don't. The way he was in his press conferences, pre-written lines, and a bit cheesy, cringy. I just thought, is this like the beginning of the end for Adesanya at the top level in the UFC? But he's got all the attributes to win it as well. Let's not forget he was winning the fight comfortably in the first one between them. Oh, Yanez yeah. This might be over real soon. This might be over real soon. He's come back into the center. Yeah, but he's getting touched. Oh, he's getting touched. Yeah, ref. Yeah, that's done. That's done. That is done. I see the super chat. Let me just save that to the side for a sec, because that was a bolt from the blue. But we move. No, I'm not at Anfield today. So where was I? Yeah, main event. Yeah, look, OG Banks says it. Main event's not tricky, bruv. Adesanya is not that stubborn that we used to know. Pereira got this. Yeah, I get that feeling as well. And I just think that Adesanya was trying too hard in the build up to this fight as well. The thing he was wearing around his neck, and you know, I'm a dog, I'm gonna be unleashed, and all of this stuff is just, yeah, I don't know if his mind is in the right place. He took the fight straight away. Credit to him, you know. But Pereira's beaten him 3 times now, so he should get the job done for the 4th time. But we'll see. It does feel like it's Pereira's time, and I think a shake-up was needed in that division anyway. So that's who I'm going with. I'm going with Pereira. How? That's a good question as well. I'd say Pereira in 4 again. Well, actually, last time he knocked him out in the last round, didn't it? But yeah, Pereira in 4. Am I going to sleep again before the Arsenal game or not? 12 hours to go. Yeah, I'll probably catch a couple hours before, well, once this event ends and little man gets up, I got a couple hours there. Have I heard about the Valverde madness? No. Tim says the record of previous UFC champs trying to get their title back is long. I won't lie to you, man. Yeah, it doesn't read well. And let me get the super chat in as well. Tim says, we know what we're really up early for. Anfield, come on. We'll come in 1-0 grind win. Any which way. Any which way. 3 points, Tim. If we get that, I was about to say tomorrow, if we get that later today, one hand on that Premier League title. That's my opinion. And I think how can you argue against that, really? This Anfield trip is one of 3, in my opinion, checkpoints after the international break. Obviously, the other two, Etihad and St. James Park. And listen, a couple of weeks ago, Newcastle are not the same Newcastle anymore. Well, Newcastle actually, they look different again now. Scoring quite a few goals, opening up a little bit more. So it'll be interesting to see what shape they're in leading up to our game. But if we get the job done today at Anfield, if we get 3 points, 8 games to go, it would be an 8-point lead. But let me not even talk too much, because I can't lie, I'm getting more and more nervous. I started the week with a 2-2 prediction on Forever Arsenal. Then I just thought to myself, no, we can do this. I've got high hopes Saliba will start the game. And in my opinion, that's a big one. I mean, if Saliba starts, I'm very confident of taking Satin. If Holding starts, I'm about 50-50 on whether we can take Satin or not. No disrespect to Holding, but we move. Nice knockout, man. Referee could have probably stopped it a bit earlier, but a few bangs to the face and the ref's in. Cool. We're coming up to Burns, Masvidal as well. Where are we? He was in training. They try hide him, says TBG. Is that confirmed? Because I know that no images came out of training, and that's unusual. But is that confirmed that he has been in training? Because again, Arteta actually said something like, "We've got one person I hope is returning." The reporter asked who, and Arteta does what Arteta does and keeps his cards close to his chest. When I heard that, I did lean more towards it being Eddie Nketiah. Reason being because recently Eddie posted a photo and not necessarily indicating he's back soon, but he was in the gym. He was doing work, and I forgot exactly what the caption said, but I just thought from that and what Arteta's saying, it's probably Eddie that's nearer a return. But I do hope it is Saliba, because as much as having Eddie available will be good, I think we're all right in that position for now, considering Jesus, couple goals last week, Trossard doing his thing as usual. It is what it is. Big Turkish in every position. We are better. Yeah, I mean that doesn't necessarily mean you win the game. It depends. Not depends. I mean, Liverpool have got quality players. I tend to agree with you that, in most positions this season, we've got the better player with a bigger threat. We've scored more goals. We've got more fluidity. We've got more chemistry. We've got more confidence. But this is Anfield. And the thing about this is Anfield, that, those 3 words together, you hear that a lot. I've heard it a lot from Liverpool fans this week, and I get it. I know some Arsenal fans are tired of hearing that, but I get it. I've seen enough mad results, mad performances from Liverpool at Anfield to know that, listen, the last 8-9 years, our last one was 10 years ago. The last 8-9 years, Liverpool have been the better side in general over that time. Not the whole time, but in general over that time, Liverpool have been the better side. So going to Anfield to play the better side, we've all seen what's occurred over the last 9 years, to say the least. I mean, I was there for a fair few of them, and very rarely coming back a happy man, if any at all. So yeah, now considering we are the better team, we are in a better moment, the Anfield factor is still there, but that's what gives us hope, gives us belief. But at the same time, listen, Salah, he can turn up. Jota, I don't know if it's available or not, but he tends to turn up against Arsenal. Diaz might be back, probably see minutes off the bench. Nunez, listen, I think Nunez will turn in. Well, he will turn into the player that, maybe not the player that everyone thought was coming to Liverpool, but he'll turn into a more consistent player efficiency-wise in terms of his final product and getting the ball in the back of the net. But he's one of those players that can have a great game, then he can have a game where he's hardly in it and, fluffs his lines in front of goal. Who else? Who am I forgetting? Firmino, we've known what he's about over the years. Thiago looks like he's going to be fit for the game, so that's a big addition in midfield for Liverpool. Even though overall midfield we win that battle, defensively they do look shaky. At the same time, they haven't got the worst record in the last 7-8 games. That Man City result aside, I think they've got a fair few clean sheets as well. If I'm not mistaken, off the top of my head, isn't it like 5 in 7 or something along those lines? So defensively, you can look at it one of two ways, really. They can be got at, but at the same time, they have shown something. I think they're only one clean sheet behind Arsenal, or is it 2? Not too sure. Fabrizio said, do I think Saliba will start? No, if I'm honest, I don't. Like I said, what Arteta said in his press conference about a player returning, I think that would be Eddie. But listen, I'm just basing that off Eddie's recent Instagram, Twitter post, or whatever it was. So we'll see. We'll see. Babatunde says Turkish Granite Xhaka will score outside the box tomorrow. Remember my name, Mac. Listen, if he does, I will remember your name, my bro. Hope you're well. He says Alisson or Ramsdale this season. Listen, if you watch the combined 11, you'll know what it is. I mean, listen, in terms of rating the goalkeepers, obviously Alisson has played at a high level, is at a higher level, and this season has probably been Liverpool's best player overall, even though he's had his moments as well. So the answer is Alisson, but I think Ramsdale gets very disrespected when a conversation about the top keepers in the Premier League comes about. I'm not saying people should rate him above Alisson, but what I am saying is this season, if we're looking at just this season as well, Ramsdale's up there in the conversation at the very least. So Alisson's the answer, but Ramsdale deserves his flowers at the same time. Abito says bench Martinelli, but Tim says Martinelli needs to start. Martinelli does need to start. Again, similar to what I just said about Ramsdale, Martinelli kind of gets disrespected. More often than not, Martinelli disrespect is not being mentioned when we're talking about the top Arsenal players this season, or talking about who to rotate in the side in a game like the one coming this Sunday. I have heard a fair few people say, Trossard, Jesus, Saka. And I get that. Trossard has been quality for us as well. Don't get it twisted. We've got 4 attacking players in form, but unfortunately, we can only pick 3 of them. I say unfortunately, that's football. And it's been a long time since we've had good players coming off the bench. So I think it's a good problem to have. But Martinelli's our top scorer. Martinelli's probably our biggest goal threat, even if you take away the top scorer title, because it is close between him and Saka. But if you look at the way Martinelli plays and you look at the way Saka plays, in behind and getting shots off, Martinelli is the guy for us. So Martinelli has to start the game. Best in the world, my guy. Hope you're well. Martinelli is my favorite. Sava says Fu is his 2 jokes. He is. Guy says Burns Masvidal starting now. Yeah, we're gonna get into it. Let me just get a couple of super chats in. Big up to him for that last one. I still got it here. Gino says, just watch Weezy score 2 amazing goals against Madrid. Could be a decent backup for Saka next season. I've seen a bit of him over the years, but nah, I think we can do better. I think we can do better than that. But you know what? At the end of the day, I know we need depth in that position, but I also know it's not going to be the priority this summer. It looks like midfield is the priority, and I also think another striker would help too. Make a choice, Balogun and Eddie. Like, I know what my choice is, but it depends what Arteta's thinking, and he seems to like Eddie. But me, rather than go into next season with Jesus, Eddie, and Balogun, I'd want to go in with Jesus, Balogun, or Eddie, and then another type of profile striker. But that's just the old school me talking. This is the old school me in a sense where I like Kieran Tierney and what he brings, because he's more of that old school fullback. Mr. BP says, as long as there's no controversial reffing decisions, I'm confident we win today. How confident are you on a scale of 1 to 10? All right. How confident am I on a scale of 1 to 10? That's a very good question. And it is game day. And like I said, I've been getting more nervous as the game approaches, but I'm still confident. Confident of taking something, I'd say 8 out of 10. Confident of taking 3 points, 6 out of 10. And that's before knowing whether Saliba will be starting the game or not as well. I tend to look at it like 60% confidence, 40% nerves, and that's how I've come to 6. But it is close to 50-50. I can't even lie. The closer the game gets, the more I'm thinking, this is Anfield. So it is mad. Let me see what Sabib's saying. Big up Turkish. I'd love to be on the Big Six panel one time. It would be my absolute pleasure to join for laughs and banter. Well, the Big Six is stacked, my guy. Appreciate the support for the show. But it is stacked in multiple positions. We're not lacking when we go into seasons. But I think, moving forward, when we talk and we brainstorm ideas and brainstorm plans on how to move forward and how to expand and all of that, listen, the supporters and the fans of the show are at the core of our decision making. So more engagement, more meetups and live shows and stuff like that. Look, we're going to New York this summer. We're going to do similar things in London. We're going to look at how successful New York is and hopefully, look into doing more cities around the world and more places. So Big Six fan zone, Controversy Media. Listen, like I said, you guys and girls out there are the core of our decision making, because the love has been mad. The love and support over the years has been mad. It's been going for what? Literally 2.5 years now. This would be our second full season of doing the Big Six in the current format as it is, because obviously I had it before and I was testing ideas and whatnot. In the current format, it's only been one full season heading to the end of the second full season, and where we started to where we've come from is mad. Is mad. Let me see what other people are saying. Need rants on the Big Six. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. He has been on Big Six Extra, but he hasn't been on the Big Six. I don't think he's been on the Big Six at all since the beginning, but it'll happen soon enough. Big up Turkish. So proud of all the hard work you put in paying off for the Big Six and AFTV. Love for the support. Who's that from? Atul. Love for that. And thanks for joining. There's 300 people in the building. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Burns is walking out now, close to the cage. Masvidal's already there. This is an interesting one, because look, no one's really asked me my opinion on it yet, or maybe you have and I haven't seen the question, but sorry, let me just say that super chat from Kevin and then one from Usman as well. Yeah, I mean, it just feels right to predict Burns in this one, considering Masvidal's, like, let's be honest, his rise to commercial stardom, in a sense, UFC wise and pay-per-view wise and all that, came from the Ben Askren moment. And what a moment it was. It was legendary. It was mad. But it didn't necessarily come from him building a streak and, earning a title shot through hard work. Well, listen, fighting is hard work. And to be honest with you, Masvidal's come from fighting in backyards to fighting on at center stage on pay-per-views. But he hasn't got that. Look at the Kobe fight, the Usman fight. What other fights did he had recently? The Nate Diaz fight, he done well a couple of years ago now. Big cut for Nate. But aside from that, I can't really think of a Masvidal performance that I remember fondly on his part. So I'm going to predict Burns here. I'm gonna predict Burns decision. I don't know if he's got enough to knock out Masvidal, but Burns decision. But look, at the same time, listen, Burns is the better fighter, but Burns can get caught. He's gone down in multiple fights, even in recent years, and he's gone down from jabs as well. And if Masvidal has something, then well, I was about to say he's got power in his punches. He does, but even then, we haven't really seen it in full flow. So listen, Burns can be got at. Masvidal can definitely get at him, and because Burns has gone down to Usman with a jab, Khamzat with a jab, so there's a bit of a weak chin there from Burns, but we'll see. Let me just sip my tea. This fight will show us where he's at after being knocked out, says Zaki. Is that Zaki? Is that the Zaki I know? Or I don't know. Clement, Holland's already knocked him out. 3rd round KO. Talking about Holland there. John says Big Six Extra. It's coming back soon. Obviously, Ramadan's come about. Fuad is the host of that show now. And I've just got to, dot the I's and cross the T's, let's say, in terms of making sure there's a more consistent panel, because towards the last few weeks of March, it tended to be a lot of change-ups. And I don't necessarily mind change-ups. I think the Big Six is the Big Six. It's consistent. You get it all the time. The Big Six Extra is just meant to be other fans having their say in a similar format. So the consistent panel side of things, yes, I do want a consistent panel, but at the same time, I don't really mind it changing up here and there. It's just that it became difficult managing it when it was so last minute at times, and couldn't really, get a slot for it where it was consistent, considering Champions League for some teams, Europa League for other teams, other commitments on other channels. So during Ramadan, just take a step back, reassess the situation, and I think the 24th of April, 25th maybe, Big Six Extra will be back. So soon come. Let me see what's going on. Couple super chats. Kevin says, will there be a way to meet up in New York? There will, Kevin. I've just sorted out, well, I sorted out the tickets recently, and you still need to sort out accommodation, which I will do soon enough. But next up, I'm going to plan the trip in terms of where we'll be on which days. I do want to visit a bar on one night at least where there's like a Big Six gathering event. People that like the show from New York or in and around the state can come and, talk and chill and do whatever. So look out for it on socials. We'll keep people up to date there. But 100% there will be a chance for everyone to meet up. Usman, yes. I mean, I am still, let me be honest. I mean, the plans are still there, but have the plans been looked into in a long time? No. And that falls on both of us. It's not just me that, hasn't kicked on with the planning process and all that. Masvidal and Burns has kicked off, by the way. It will come, but at the same time, it needs to come correct. I will say that a show with me and Shiroi should be out soon. Just working out the format, the name, things like that. Shiroi started his own channel now, so look out for content from him, because I know a lot of Arsenal fans, they like his opinion, and rightly so. Articulates himself so well, and I agree with him more often than I don't. So I think it'll be a good show. I'm just wondering whether it should be just me and him, or should we mix it up and do 3-4 people? Then I have Forever Arsenal, so I don't really want to make a show too similar to that. But at the end of the day, shows are made because of the characters and the chemistry. So whether it's 4 people that's on 2 shows, it all comes down to how then people bounce off each other and banter and get it and all of that. Good mixture good mixture of characters. But thank you, Usman. Hope you're well. Sashiv again. Sorry, I got one eye on this Burns Masvidal fight because it's one of those fights that something can come out of nowhere. But to be honest, UFC, most fights are like that. Let's not get it twisted. It only tends to be the wrestlers that don't have those wow moments. Burns seems to be on the offensive though. Sashiv says, I noticed you for the first time on DR Sports when you were watching Turkey versus Wales and AFTV watch-alongs. Look how times have changed. I'm a United fan, by the way. Depends what you mean by times have changed, because if we're talking about Turkey, they're still fucking about it, if I'm honest with you. But time didn't change there. I wish they would. If we're talking about Arsenal, times have really changed. I mean, a couple of years ago, I was looking forward to international breaks to see a bit of Turkey and see less of Arsenal. Now, an international break, I'm like, get Turkey off my screen right now. But listen, I love the Turkish national team, regardless of not performing more often than not, not making tournaments more often than not. When your country makes a tournament and stands up in a tournament, there's nothing like it. It's a completely different feeling to club football. So hopefully, Masvidal on a bit of an offensive there. Hopefully Turkey do come back and compete at least, because that last Euro performance, it wasn't a competition. It wasn't a competition at all. Pick up MCE TV as well. He says, damn, this is 3 rounds. I was hoping for 5. Yeah, I know what you mean. You'd want 5 for what we know of these two fighters, but at the same time, what we also know is they're both on the decline. So I guess Dana didn't want to give it the main event treatment in that sense. Well, it's been a bit of I don't know. I've had one eye on it. Yeah, no grappling there, straight back. I've had one eye on it, and Burns has looked to be the more offensive in the first round, but at the same time, he hasn't really landed anything too worrying for Masvidal. So I'd say it's a close round. I'd probably give it to Burns, but there's still a minute and nearly 20 seconds to go, so a lot can change. Hey, good on you for being up this late. Listen, I'm always up late. And to be honest, I had a little nap before this one. Yes, Saf, hope you're good. Masvidal's getting a bit more offensive in this last minute, but Burns cutting the distance well, but not really having enough to worry Masvidal. Less than 30 to go. MC says, I got Burns for this. Sorry to say it, but Masvidal is finished. Where are we? Takedown as well there. He's definitely won this round. If there was anything to confirm it. And to be honest, it looked like Masvidal was panicking a bit there. Maybe lucky it was close to the buzzer. Maybe that's the way Burns finishes this fight early. Masvidal didn't look comfortable at all, but Burns has got that round for sure. So it's an uphill task for Masvidal already. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through the comments. Yes, Kolf. What are you saying? Man said Turkey having relevance since 02. That's my guy from young. But have some more respect, my guy. Have some more respect. Don't forget we went semi-finals in the Euros as well. What Euros was that? I think it might have been Euro 2004. Or no? Might have been Euro 2004. Can't remember off the top of my head. Burns looks controlled and measured. Yep. Yes, Dave, you're right there. Arda Güler, he does look a good player, and Soyuncu. Listen, a lot of the Turkish prospects fell off after that Euro performance. A lot. Yeah, come on, SC Gunner in the building, my guy. Back again. Just su- just support for the best channel on YouTube. Love, my brother. Really appreciate it. Listen, I don't know if you can make it possible, but it'd be good to link up in New York, like the last who was it? Kevin asked, can we, meet up and that? Yeah, we're gonna let people know what we're doing as well. So hopefully, if there's a way, then let's make it happen. But love for the super chat. You know what it is already. Really appreciate it. Because that America trip ain't light either. I can't even lie to you. I've just booked the tickets. I'm looking at the accommodation now. I'm not looking for a hotel. I'm looking for an Airbnb. So content wise, in terms of what we record for the channel, I think it'd be more banging that way. I think would get more content out of it. It'll be summertime. Get a place with a garden, balcony, etc. Different places to shoot. That's the idea anyway. If you see us in a hotel, then no, the apartments are just way too expensive. But at this moment, I should be able to make it happen, man. We'll make it happen. Osman says Turkish clubs used to have proper ballers. JJ Okocha, Fenerbahce. Yep, them times growing up. JJ Okocha, Fenerbahce, Georgie Hadji, Galatasaray. Wait, the league was mad. The rivalry was mad, and the rivalry will always be mad between those two clubs and a couple others. But in terms of technicians and quality of player, yeah, Okocha and Hadji, that was mad times. Burns pretty much controlling Masvidal on the ground here. How long? Just under 3 minutes to go. A lot of people asking about Big Six Extra, Mustafa as well. Mustafa, I just kind of addressed that. It is coming back soon. Just need to sort a few things out. Kevin saying, I saw you were saying you'd want a consistent panel for Extra, but you don't mind a little change here and there. I've done some call-ins on Grizz's channel. If you need a United rep, just throwing it out there. DM me. Thing about the United thing, that's already in the process. Listen, big up Cams. I love Cams. I've been Cams on the Big Six a lot, but he's a busy man as well. He's doing big things. FTBL. I'm seeing him doing JD Sports stuff as well. Invited into boxes at United. Life's different. So with Cams, I'm still trying to make it work, but at the same time, it hasn't worked so far because of games and FTBL coverage. So I've kind of already got KG lined up for it. But options are good at the end of the day. You need squad depth. So eventually, we'll include supporters of the channel a bit more. Maybe not on the original Big Six show, maybe on the extra show, or maybe there's going to be other bits of content that come out more core supporter base orientated. It's all in the. I'm always thinking about Big Six and ways to improve it and ways to develop it and kick it on and open up the floor a bit more. So wait on it, but at the same time, just know it's all on me at the end of the day. It's not like I got a big team. This ain't the kickoff or the club or filthy fellas or we've got a Big Six core. We are a team, but in terms of getting the other things done and whatnot, slowly but surely, patience. Merchandise needs to come out too. So as soon as the New York bits and bobs are ironed out, merch will be ready as well. And then the plan is to build a studio. I say build, whether it's rent out a studio space and design it exactly how we want it, or build one in my property. I don't know. I'm just thinking about it. I'm thinking about how to move it forward. But big up Kevin, man. SC Gunner again. Flew to London for my first Arsenal game. Was hoping to see you there. But I had to settle for selfies with Ty and Robbie. Ty is shorter than I thought. Really friendly guy. When was this one, SC? Which game did you fly in for? Was it recently? It must have been recently if you're saying it now, but zero wrestling, Elvis. Zero. He's struggling when Burns grabs him. He even got a right hand there as well in that round. It's 2-0. 2-0 Burns. Well, so yeah, SC, let me know. And next time, try and versus Palace. Saka Martinez scored right in front of me. Well, it was recent. It was a good game to go to, that's for sure. But I say next time. You've just literally just come. So next time might be a long way away. But next time, if there is a next time, then just DM me. Or let me know. Let me know on the Big Six or when you can in the comment section even. You know, you're a big supporter of the channel. Like, I remember your name. Look, you're a member as well, my guy. So, you know, leave a comment, even if it's on an old video. I'll see it because it'll pop up. So if there is a next time, come true. But like I said, if New York can happen, make it happen. We're into the third and final round on Burns Masvidal. So let's see what happens here. What do I think of WWE and UFC officially merging? A lot of people are getting asked this, and I don't know what to think yet. I mean, I don't think anything, if I'm honest. I don't know how one will affect the other. I don't think there is a connection there aside from I wouldn't even call WWE a combat sport. It's more like combat entertainment, if that makes sense, because I guess with sport comes the, I don't know, WWE is more, it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain, but for me, there's no similarity, so I don't really see how one will affect the other aside from maybe the UFC fighters post-career in the UFC moving over to WWE. But then again, you also need quite a big profile. Now, wrestlers are athletes, AJ. I'm not saying that, that's for sure. They're definitely athletes, but there's a winning and losing element. And yes, in wrestling, you win and you lose and whatnot, but it's scripted. It's written more so than it is competition. And I think in sport, competition makes it sport as well. That's part of it being that's part of sport competition. And in WWE, it's not really a competition, if that makes sense. It's a weird one. It's sports entertainment, yeah. Masvidal's a bitch. How long we got here? 3 minutes left. Masvidal's a bit stunned, though. He's a bit stunned. Oh, Burns could finish him, but I don't think Burns has the energy for it, if I'm honest. Yeah, he's not really going in for the kill. He's allowing Masvidal back out a little bit. Yeah, it's just for business reasons, Liam. That's how I see it. It's not really. Masvidal's really slowed down. Oh. What's funny is Masvidal's still got this BMF belt as well. I just don't get it because I heard Holland call him out at the end. It's like, bro, you're losing fights and you still got this made-up belt. Coming up to 2 minutes to go. Burns is applying the pressure. So far, clean victory. Masvidal ain't got anything for him now. This ain't headed nowhere but a Burns win. I did predict the decision. He could finish him in the last 2 minutes, but it just doesn't seem like he has the power to get it done and energy. Izzy fights next, yep. Izzy fight should be up. They should be ready in about by 5:30. Without a doubt, by 5:30. Well, I say by, it's probably going to be sooner than 5:30. There's less than 90 seconds left in this fight. Winner will be announced, and then maybe 10 minutes later, you'll get Izzy walking out, Pereira walking out, and the rematch on. And the fourth fight in general. Burns again, takedown 1 minute ago. Yeah. See you later, Masvidal, man. See you later, Masvidal. To be honest, Masvidal might as well take up that Holland option. Oof. A couple nice elbows there. Masvidal might as well take up that Holland option because that would be a character-wise, the build up to that and the back and forths and whatnot would be good, but he doesn't deserve to have a title shot or come anywhere close to it. But when it's regardless of Edwards' past with him, it would be light work for Edwards. It would be very light work for Edwards. Burns just controlling it. Masvidal's got nothing, less than 30 seconds to go. It's going to be a decision for Burns. AJ, am I with Dana on Colby being Edwards' next fight? Colby doesn't necessarily deserve a title shot either, I'm honest with you. But at the same time, who are the options? Who would be the options? Leading up to Usman, leading up to Edwards Usman 3, I did say I feel like Khamzat and Colby should fight, and we line up, or the winner of that fight is lined up for the winner of the Edwards Usman 3 fight. But I'm not too sure what happened there. Khamzat says, Colby didn't want to fight. Colby's acting like he did. I'm not too sure what's happened there. Oof. Masvidal got banged a few times there. But without those fights, I just don't see who is a clear candidate in the division. I don't see who else is in the division. I can't think off the top of my head. Frank said, if this wasn't in Miami, do you think Masvidal would have been on the fight card? Well, Masvidal's still a draw. He's still a draw, but at the end of the day, he's fading. That draw side of Masvidal is fading, if not faded now after this result tonight. I don't think many people will be interested to see much more from Masvidal aside from the out of cage rivalries that he has, just formed with Holland and previously formed with Edwards. People, might want to still see Edwards. I wouldn't mind seeing Edwards, Masvidal somewhere down the line, but at the same time, it should have been and gone already. Like I said, Masvidal, Holland next. Burns will be a good one for Edwards, but there isn't a clear candidate. Listen, Colby is the set. Well, when Usman was champion, Colby was second/third best in the division for quite a long time. Burns easy win. So it's an interesting fight because as much as I don't think he deserves it, Colby can beat Edwards. Don't get twisted. Colby's a tough guy. I don't like the guy, but he's a tough guy. So it is a good fight. Has it been confirmed? I think it has been confirmed. July 22nd, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, Harry's asking, am I going Anfield? Nope. Z says, Adesanya Pereira predictions. I'm going Pereira in 4. But like I said earlier, Adesanya has the skill set to win the fight, but I just think it just feels like it's the beginning of the end for the Adesanya era. And at times, what an era it was. It just kind of faded out. But yeah, every dog has its day, especially in this sport. It's a brutal sport. So the older you get or the more money you make, and there's so many factors to fight other than skill set that it's hard to predict sometimes. Sometimes it's just the hungrier man that wins it or the hungrier woman that wins it, regardless of skill set. There's an inner burning desire or an inner burning need that pulls it out of the bag. This is why I do like UFC a lot. Mr. Hotspur says Colby is. Masvidal looks out of shape. Masvidal's not serious anymore, though. He's made, I guess, the money that's, you know, nice to him in terms of his life and so on. Winston says, "Go sleep. You're stressing tomorrow when you lose." Oh, mate, just hit the like button and give it a rest. Win, lose, or draw, we are still top of the league. So whoever you support, hold that. Unless it's Man City. If it's Man City, then yeah. Calma. Colby is large, says Mr. Hotspur. Colby's not a draw. I don't know what you mean by large, but he's a fighter, that's for sure. And as a fighter, I have a lot of respect for him. I mean, he couldn't get past Usman. But Edwards is a different profile, different style. But it does also feel like it's Edwards' time as well. He pretty much, you know, wiped the floor with Usman in the last fight. I know some people want to argue that Usman, you know, won the fight. I don't see it, not even close in my opinion. But Colby Edwards is an interesting fight to make, and I guess Colby's the next best in the division, and he's proven that over the years. But yeah, Khamzat, not too sure what weight he's coming back at, but he will be an interesting prospect in this weight as well. So we'll see. We'll see. Masvidal got cooked, says him. TVG says, I'm not nervous for tomorrow. It's been 20 years waiting for a title race. Excited. True. That's true. But listen, 20 years ago, I was nervous coming up to the end of the season when we was in for titles. Anyway, so I'll never forget that week. We got knocked out the FA Cup. Wait, who was it? Got knocked out the FA Cup by United, I think. Got knocked out the Champions League by Chelsea. And then it was Liverpool. And we were 2-1 down, and then Henry just... Why is he crying like this? Did he retire or something? People who are listening to it, why is Masvidal crying like this? What did he just say on the mic? I can hear Cormier saying, what a fantastic career. Got to go out in your city. He must have retired. It looks like Masvidal's retired. Yeah, Dan confirmed it. His last fight. Mad. That kind of came out of nowhere, considering he was, you know, talking about the potential of the Edwards fight and whatnot. But at the same time, he knows that he's seen, you know, his best days. They're behind him now. So I get it. His city, he's made enough money. He's got a family there. Listen, it's probably the smart move. It's probably a smart move. And like I said, in terms of his pay-per-view draw, it faded. And today was probably the last roll of the dice. Big up Ian, another member. I hope you're well. You just called it a day. Understandable. Who's that? Francois says, guys, trust me, Izzy's going to regain his throne once and for all. I'd be very impressed if he does. I can't even lie to you, because he's coming up against a guy that's beaten him 3 times, knocked him out a couple of times. Well, KO, TKO. And Adesanya's best days are behind him also, you know, as much as he just, you know, lost his last fight. His performances over the last couple of years have been deteriorating, became much more a safe fighter. But like I said earlier, in this sport, you know, for longevity, I guess being a safe fighter makes more sense. But it is what it is. Jamsey, when's the Adesanya fight? It's literally around the corner. I'm watching it on BT, so it's an ad at the moment. But after the ad, I'm expecting to see Adesanya ready to walk out. See if he does another flashy one, because he does tend to, you know, pay close attention to his entrances, but we'll see. This is the first time he's coming out as the challenger for how long? So looking at the way he presented himself in the press conferences leading up to the fight, very serious, like, you know, focused and just a bit over the top with some of the answers to questions and whatnot. It just seems like he's got that mindset where I don't think we'll get a big entrance from him, but I might be mistaken. We'll see. It's coming up shortly anyway. Mal says, when am I in NYC? 20th of June we land. We land on Tuesday, 20th of June in New York, JFK at midday. So it's about 12:30 or 12:25 or something like that. And we're there till Monday, the 26th of June, where we're leaving about 7 p.m. New York time. And we arrive back in the UK on Tuesday morning. But yeah, in New York, Tuesday, the 20th of June till Monday, the 26th of June. So look out for it. Follow us on socials, and we'll be posting more often than not what's going on there. And on the show as well, if you're a regular watcher, obviously I'll keep people up to date with what's going on. So yeah, middleweight rankings: Pereira, Adesanya, Whitaker, Vettori still there, Cannonier still there, Paulo Costa still there. This division needs, not even needed. I don't think Pereira coming in really changes much there. I think Pereira beats Whitaker. I think Pereira beats Vettori. I think Pereira beats Costa. I think that division needs a couple more coming through. Promo vid's playing, so it's coming soon. AK says Pereira's going to smoke him for the fourth time. Says not going to last. Yeah, Adesanya losing. So do I. Francois says, I wonder if UFC fighters still fighting their 40s. Yeah, I mean, some do. Glover Teixeira won the championship in his 40s. Obviously lost it soon after, but like I said, there's different factors to, you know, winning the fight at this level. Skill set is definitely one thing, but how much heart you have is another. Grit, fire. What are you doing it for? Do you need to do it? All of these questions come into play. Cormier did, says TKA. Usman, yeah, Whitaker is still a top fight. I mean, if Pereira wins this fight, then it's definitely, Pereira, Whitaker next. But that would be the most interesting of the other ranked opponents. Like Cannonier, I think Pereira deals with him as well. So it has to be Whitaker, Pereira next. But at the same time, it's, we mentioned Khamzat a few times in tonight's stream already, or this morning's stream, however people, want to see it. Khamzat could be a contender for this division too. It depends on how he comes back and what weight he wants to fight at and what opportunities he wants. Khamzat looks to me like a guy that wants to break records and wants to be the main man, and I assume he'll want to be double champ as well. So I'm sure he'll be throwing his name into the hat, not just this division, but in a couple other divisions too. Bailey says Masvidal versus Jake Paul. You heard it here first. That would not surprise me. But I'm not really interested in them. in them sorts of fights, if I'm honest. Bandos is Israel Nurmagomedov incoming. Pereira Kamayev, yeah, I see that happening. I see Khamzat fighting whoever wins this fight. Maybe not next, but it all depends on who he wants. Like, maybe next. Because with Colby and Edwards, I don't think that division, I don't know if Khamzat's looking to wait any longer than he has done already. So, I can see McGregor cooking Chandler. Thoughts on that? McGregor's my guy, but you know, things I just talked about. Skill set is one thing, and McGregor's skill set has, you know, in his prime, he was a beautiful fighter to watch. McGregor, I mean, always on his toes, fluid, strike you from any angle. You know, he had a weird stance or an unusual stance, and he had a killer left hand. But he used his kicks well to keep distance. He was one of the best strikers. And then the boxing stuff came in, and then he became a bit more stiff, and that's kind of transferred into the cage, as we've seen from recent fights and whatnot. He's not as bouncy and instinctive, I guess might be a word to use, as he was coming through and he was just running through the division. So he can be got at, and Chandler's probably hungrier than McGregor, if I'm honest. And part of McGregor's fame and fortune and how big he is, you know, when a fight, listen, he said it a long time ago, red panty now. That ain't no joke. When a fighter lines up to fight McGregor, it's they're gonna be their biggest payday, you know. Full stop. Full stop in the UFC. So anyone going in wants that. They're hungry for that. You know, the beat McGregor card, the money that comes with that, the money that it can bring short term after, because you know, a win against McGregor, you're in the lights, you're in the headlines, you're talked about a lot more. So Chandler's got more in there, in my opinion. I think McGregor can cook him, because Chandler's very open. If he gets caught with the left hand from McGregor, then it could be night. But at the same time, Chandler's very open to scrapping as well. And if McGregor can't keep his distance and control the fight in that sense, and it becomes a bit of a brawl, then Chandler can brawl. Like, he can brawl. So we've seen McGregor brawl against Diaz. We definitely did. But I haven't seen McGregor brawl post Diaz too. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Post Nate Diaz too, I haven't seen McGregor in a brawl. And when Poirier put it on him, it was peak. Obviously, Khabib, in a different sense, controlled him. Cowboy Cerrone, it wasn't really a fight. Eddie Alvarez, listen, quality performance from McGregor. Elite, but it wasn't a brawl. I mean, he controlled that. He in my opinion, he dominated until the knockout. So it's a hard fight to call McGregor Chandler. And to be honest with you, when you hear about the USADA stuff and not being on the register, needing to be on it for 6 months, I don't even know if the fight's going to happen. I know they're done the Ultimate Contender, and I'm looking forward to watching that. But at this moment in time, I'm not too sure if we can even entertain a fight with McGregor yet, until we have a date. We know he's on that USADA register, ready to be tested, you know, given enough time. And I'd love nothing more than McGregor to come back, have a few wins, and go for a title again. I'd love nothing more than that, because he is good for the sport. But I just don't see it. McGregor fucked up taking time off in 2016 to 18. Yeah, I mean, on one hand, in terms of his UFC and fighting career, yeah, I get that. And on the other hand, when you think about the amount of money he made, I get that as well. 100 million for the Mayweather fight, was it? Wait, 2016 to 18. When did he fight Mayweather? When did he fight Mayweather? Was it? That must have been 2018, no? 2017. Must have been around that time. But yeah, when you make that much money, 100 mil, I also get that as well. Like, life's changed. He went from, you know, what people in the UK would call job seekers allowance or universal credit or whatever it's called now. He went from that being supported by the government to 100 million Mayweather fight in 5 years. Do you know how mad that is? That is crazy. In 5 years to go from that to that, it could get to a lot of people's heads, that meteoric rise in a short space of time. Adesanya's out, Pereira's coming out, so the fight is imminent, people. Just over the hour as well, and still 300 people watching live. Let me see how many likes we're on. Where are we? Oh, we're on 228. That's quite good ratio-wise, even though we got 300 on. If you haven't hit the like button already, hit the like button. Diallo says, I need Izzy focused. No recklessness, please. The thing about it, Diallo, is it's hard to, even if you're focused for 5 rounds, it's in this sport, 1 second can change the whole thing. Like, I think Izzy was controlled in the first fight between them in terms of the UFC. I think Izzy was controlled, and I think he was, close to a knockout in the second. Was it the second round? I think the second round at the end. He was controlled, but he gets caught, and that's what can happen. That is what can happen. Usman against Edwards, in control, dominating, bang, out of nowhere, lights out, you're done. I think the worry of a knockout is too great for Adesanya to control this. I think Adesanya needs to find his early form and his early confidence and his early striking to kind of take it to Pereira and stick a bit on the line, because as much as Pereira's knocked him out a couple of times, that moment in the first fight where he wobbled Pereira and essentially the bell saved him, that should give Adesanya enough confidence to know that he can damage him too. He can knock him out. He can, finish the fight early. He doesn't have to win it by points. It's not a knockout artist versus someone who's gonna just see it out on points. Adesanya didn't come up like that. He would seek to finish off fights a lot more, previously coming through, but he's regressed in that sense since. We got Ryan as well. You're up as well, yeah? Tex, big up yourself each and every time, my guy. Still up now, as I've just finished watching the boxing, as I'm a serious boxing fan, like how I am with football. Trying to get into UFC though, but boxing number 2 for me. Okay, number 2 behind football. I get you. Boxing used to be my number 2 behind football as well, to be honest. Now boxing number 3 and UFC is number 2, if I'm honest. I just think in UFC, you get the top fights, You get the top fights. You get the top fights when they need to happen. This is a prime example of it. I mean, we've been waiting for example, Fury Joshua for 4 years. Pereira signs up to UFC, wins a few fights, gets a shot at Izzy's title, all in that same 4-year period, and Adesanya gets a rematch as well. And this is just one example. If you look even across this year, Islam versus Volkanovski, another fight. 2 fighters on top form going at it. When Khabib McGregor happened, when it was Poirier Khabib, Oliveira didn't fight Khabib. Who did Oliveira lose his belt to? Islam. Yeah, Oliveira Islam. Always top fights in every division. So for me, UFC's overtaken boxing in terms of entertainment. I know there's other divisions in boxing. I'm looking forward to the Tank fight in a couple of weeks too. I'm really looking forward to that one because that should be a good one. But in general, you have to wait so long in boxing for the top fight. There's so much noise around the build-up and the contracts and the splits and all of that stuff. It's tiresome to say the least. Haney, Lomachenko, yeah. That's a good shot, TBG. That's a good shout. Always says Turkish. I'm so nervous for Izzy. Love for the super chat though, Ryan, my guy. I might, I call this Fight Club for a reason because I do want to cover some boxing as well. So it's not just UFC. I will do watch-alongs for. Maybe even Tank. I'll see how I feel. Because these late nights when you got a little one, it ain't easy. As Saeed would say, it ain't easy. These are hours that I should be, banking in terms of sleep. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Oh, and I keep on thinking about Liverpool game as well. Massive game. Red Eye says it doesn't matter if Izzy loses because Pereira ain't even in this weight class. He should be heavyweight. When he rehydrates, is about 215, 220. It's madness. And listen, playing the game in terms of weights and divisions, it's happened before. It'll happen again. I do understand what you're saying, but I guess for this rivalry, and Israel's domination of the division, and Pereira coming in as the only man that's ever beaten him, they had to make it work. But I do get you in terms of the rehydration thing. But if he can do it, he can do it. I mean, the rules are set, and he's not breaking any rules. He's abiding by them, and we're nearly ready to go. Pereira, underdog. So what, is Adesanya the favorite for this again? To be honest, I haven't even checked any odds or anything like that. I'm not a betting man, so. But I'm surprised Adesanya would be favorite. But it did look like it was indicated there that he is. How was UFC London? Now, listen, I know a few people that went. Apparently, it was a very good night. July 22nd. I'll see what the card's saying because the way the prices were set this time round, I think the card has to be a bit better for me to spend the money that they were asking us to spend this time round. And I'm assuming it's going to be the same sort of money for the Colby Edwards fight. If I see Kamzat on that card, if I see Paddy Pimblett on that card, and if I see a few more, names that are in the headlines, then I might part with my cash. So we've kicked off here, Adesanya Pereira. It's one that I don't really want to take my eyes off, but obviously I'm going to read the chat every once in a while too. Byron says he's nervous for Izzy too. Spence and Crawford, yeah, that fight is going to be mad. That's one that should have been made, but it's still coming at the right time, in my opinion. Is it confirmed? Because I know it was close to being confirmed, but I don't know if it did get confirmed. But yeah, if it's happening, that'll be a top fight. Sorry, I just got, I want to see how this fight starts, but they're just measuring each other up. Not really, a minute gone. Haven't really seen anyone go in for anything, but still very early days. Turks, Liverpool tomorrow evening. We got this, bro. Bro, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Prime Tyson or Prime Foreman? Asked Jafar. Prime Tyson for me. Obviously, I saw a lot more of Tyson than I did Foreman, but being a big Muhammad Ali fan, looking up to Muhammad Ali so much, growing up reading about him and what he had to go through, what he done, what he achieved. Foreman's name came up a lot, and I think Foreman's career, when people look back on it, maybe not from that era, but in terms of people born in the late 80s, 90s, and so on, it's defined by Ali. But he was a top fighter. And this is my thing. When people, sorry, let me put the question up, but people might be wondering what the hell he's talking about. But when people, do that dream matchup, Ali versus Tyson, who would have won? I always say, listen, Ali fought brutes, like Tyson. He fought powerhouses. It's, that's Tyson's biggest thing, and I get it. he mixed power with agility and speed so well, and I guess that what sets him apart from the Foremans and the other, you know, heavyweights that could really bang. But what set Ali apart was, you know, mentally, his mind, how smart he was, the mind games prior to the fight, mind games in the fight, style. I mean, rope dope. I mean, that came out of nowhere and it got the job done in emphatic fashion. So when people ask me about Tyson and Ali, I say it would have been no contest for me. Ali's the, you know, the greatest of all time. He would have, you know, prime for prime, he would have got the job done, in my honest opinion. I've seen enough from Ali to know that a big banger, in a sense of a big puncher like Tyson, can cause problems, but Ali would win it, in my opinion. And someone said he's a GOAT athlete, not just boxer. Usman, 100% Usman, completely agree with you here. No one like him in any sport. And not just athlete, no one like him in terms of being a celebrity, being a public figure. Nobody. From sport, from acting, from whatever background, there's no one that's touched Ali that will come close to touching Ali. He was just different. He was just different. Ryan says Errol Spence highly, but Terence Crawford is just special generational type of fighter. That'll actually be a top fight if it's confirmed. Did anyone say it's confirmed? Anyone say it's confirmed? McGregor Chandler in Ireland will be mad. Any McGregor fight in Ireland will be mad. But yeah, Chandler in Ireland will be mad because that's a big fight. Adesanya not looking bad in this first round. Probably won it. Pereira's going for quite a few leg kicks. End of the first round. Probably edge it to Adesanya. But it's one of those ones where it could actually go either way, if I'm honest. I just think Adesanya was more the aggressor, more on the front foot. Got a few cleaner strikes in. Pereira done well to the legs. So you're just getting the drift of what's happening in the corner. Mayweather GOAT, nope, not for me. Mayweather disrespectful as well. I mean, I remember when he was asked about Ali. I never forget these things. It's just too much disrespect. I remember when he was asked about Ali and he basically disrespected and said, you know, did Ali lose or something along those lines? Yeah, of course, a flawless record is a massive thing in boxing. I mean, and Mayweather is one of the greatest of all time. I mean, he's up there, legend. But he cannot be in the same sentence as a Muhammad Ali. And the fact that even he had the balls to come out and kind of insinuate he is the greatest and all that. Yeah, just not for me. I mean, there's that famous clip of Tyson and Ali on someone's show. I forgot whose show it was, but you know, when Tyson was asked, Tyson could only pay homage to Ali, and Tyson's one of the most aggressive characters that have been in boxing. Whereas you get Mayweather, who's a bit of a guy who's up himself. So, you know, Mayweather, not for me. Top fighter, one of the best ever, but he ducked a lot of fights as well, says TBG. Shot to the body there. Oh, Adesanya. It looked like he felt it a bit, but he came back with a couple. I'll check the chat in a sec because this fight is heating up. Let's see what it's saying. Minute gone in round 2. I think Pereira's trying to go for it a bit earlier than expected, if I'm honest. He seems quite excited. Adesanya's not nowhere near to what he was in the first fight at this stage, in my opinion. I think he's a lot more in control, a lot more confident, and he was getting a lot more success with his striking. But in this one, he feels a bit tentative, which I get. I mean, you get knocked out, you get dazed. It can do that. It can do that to someone. But at the same time, they're still measuring up as well. Oh, nice. Nice little back and forth there. Adesanya got a couple of shots. Pereira landed a jab back. Oh, Adesanya over the top. Pereira just shakes it off. Another one from Adesanya. Not too much damage though. Pereira working on the leg again. Pereira switching stance as he does. Both legs have taken a few hits though. But at the same time, they don't look like the hits are too damaging, but they can take their toll, especially after high volume. So 2 minutes to go. Oh, it looked like they was about to go at it. Arsenio Hall shot, that was it. In terms of Tyson and Ali. Shreya says, am I going to the pool? No, I'm not at the game. I'll be doing the watch along AFTV. Another strike from Adesanya. He's probably done enough to win this round, Adesanya. He's probably done enough to, well, I say that we've still just over a minute to go, so there's still a lot of time left, but oh, Adesanya doing a good job so far. Yeah, the leg's feeling it. Adesanya, it looked like that left leg kind of gave way under him after that kick, so oh shit. Oh shit. Adesanya, aye. Pereira is out. Oh my days. Pereira is out. Pereira is out. Adesanya. The thing is, yeah, it looked like Adesanya was about to get put out, but he just went for it. And you know what? You know what? You gotta respect it. You gotta respect it. You gotta respect it. It's done, Red Eye Guna. It's done. It is done. Adesanya knocked Pereira. Pereira's just about coming to his senses now. It looked like the leg kicks were getting to Adesanya. He covered up against the cage. Pereira putting on pressure. It looked like he had a couple shots there. Then, Adesanya just had to he was put in a position where he had to just bang back, and literally is one of his first few shots landed clean on Pereira, and he was out of it. He was out of it. Nah, I got to clap again because that was quality from Adesanya. Quality. Smoked him. Pereira's still on the floor. Let me see. You see, the leg shots were getting to Adesanya. Covered up. Oof. Yeah. Done him. Oh. Oh, two back to back, but the first one was a real clean strike, and the second one straight to that sweet spot again. Right there, Pereira was out. Aye, that is quality from Adesanya. Quality. Because against the cage like that, there's only one thing you can do in that situation. He was hurt. He was getting, pressurized, and he came out banging. Pereira's vexed, and so he should be. Diallo says, wow, 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 wow. Is he as lethal? He was locked in. Hey, that was a top knockout. Top knockout. It looked like he was on the ropes. It looked like he was on the ropes, and he just comes out. And Jamal says, boring division again. Is that I don't know. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Obviously, this does make Adesanya Pereira free, a likely fight in the next year or two. But what happens in between then, that's where the boring aspect comes into it. At the same time, I mentioned Khamzat before. I'm happy for Adesanya, man. I'm happy for Adesanya. He just needs to stop doing all of that fashion stuff and painting his nails and all of that. Yeah. Yeah. Bye. Usman couldn't get it back, but Adesanya did just that. Obviously, says he stepped into the fire and came through. Amazing. It was. That knockout was just cold. That knockout was cold. 330 in the building. The Shadow Realm, 100%. 100%. I want to just hear what he has to say to Joe. If anyone's watching a BT, I don't know what's going on with the mic, but all I'm hearing is I hope everyone gets to feel this happy in their life, but you don't get to feel this happy without going for it. I guess I get the message he's saying. I don't really need to listen too much, but yeah. Now let's go on later today and give it to Liverpool. Diallo. The trilogy is going to be fire. Daniel said, don't let him bully you, son. Nah, Adesanya, he showed up. He showed up. Sorry, I'm just sorry, people. I know I'm quiet, but I just want to hear what Joe's saying and what Adesanya's saying back. Quality performance from Adesanya. I can't lie. Like I said, it looked like it was over for him, but bang. I doubt there'll be any call outs or anything like that. But you'll probably hear Khamzat come out in the next few days and say something. It'll be interesting though, because does anyone want to see Adesanya Whitaker again? Obviously, Pereira Whitaker would have been a different story, but I get what Jamal was it Jamal earlier saying, about this division being boring again? Because regarding the rest of the contenders or the rest of the ranked fighters, Adesanya's got them. He's got them. He's got them. Just showing the KO again. This leg kick here looked like it would just done enough damage for Adesanya to be like, shit, closed up. Pereira was going for, yeah. I mean, this is UFC. I mean, Pereira, as much as he's an entertaining fighter defensively, there he thought he had it as well. Just way too open, hands down, swinging, no defense. Got caught again, and that's it. It's done. It's done. Adesanya is the champ. Oh, I thought Adesanya was about to call someone out, but nah. Guy's just dancing, talking about Miami. Kamzat's already tweeted. Where is my phone? Bro, my phone's all the way down there. Is that my phone there? I didn't even realize my phone's not even on me. But yeah. Doom says I just got paid. Yes, I can't wait for his video as well. Still, I can't wait. I know a lot of UFC fans watched that. TBG says that counter punch was dirty. It was. It was. Trilogy will be mad. True champs is they know how to pull it out the bag. And yeah, to be honest, that was quicker than expected. Usually these streams I tend to be on for a couple hours, but this one, obviously the front fight ended quickly. Burns and Masvidal lasted the distance, but Burns won. That's easy. Second most title fight wins in middleweight history. Adesanya just behind, and well, I say just behind Anderson Silva, currently on 8. Anderson Silva finished on 11. There's Usman there congratulating Adesanya. Will Usman use this as motivation to make a comeback of his own? Who knows? Well, to be honest, with Colby Edwards pretty much say. I mean, Dana White's adamant on it. In terms of a fight I'd want to see next, it's either Kamzat Adesanya or Kamzat Usman. I think it's one or the other, if I'm honest. Kamzat Usman to see if it is that division. Kamzat Usman, the winner gets the winner of Edwards Colby. I think that makes sense. Or the thing is, as Kamzat comes straight into this division and fight Adesanya, I think that would cause some upset. But at the same time, I mean, Whittaker, we've seen twice already. Cannonier, we've seen it already. I wouldn't mind seeing Kamzat Whittaker, but at the same time, what does that leave for Adesanya? That's why for me, Kamzat Izzy or Kamzat Usman should be the next fight to make, whichever division Kamzat wants to be in, and that would be a big blockbuster fight. Red Eye says Colby Kamzat winner fights Leon. Like I said, I would have said that. I think Colby and Kamzat should have fought, already, or should be fighting round the corner to have lined up that fight with the winner of Edwards Usman. But Dana White's adamant. Colby Edwards is definitely happening. There's no doubt about it. That is the next fight being booked for Edwards. So there's no point even debating it. It has been long since Kamzat's had a fight. It would be mad, Kamzat Adesanya. Jing says Pereira got caught lacking. Yeah, Frank, was BT censoring the speech, or was there audio problems? Because I didn't even know what was going on. Instinctive KO, says TBG. It was instinctive, out of nowhere, back against the wall. Now or never. It was one of those ones. It was like, it looked like he was on the way to being seen off from Pereira in that moment, and just thought, fuck it, let's go, and pulled it out the bag. So big up Adesanya, man. Big up Adesanya. Big performance, big win, big knockout. And he moves. But where does he move? That's the big question. Someone said Kamzat's tweeted. To be honest, I haven't got my phone right now to check if he's tweeted or not, but I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it. DNYG, another member. Hope you're well. The audio was mad. Yeah, I don't know what was going on. I was trying to listen to what he was saying, hoping that he might call out a Khamzat. But everything's quiet with Khamzat at the moment. I mean, it does seem like no one wants to fight him. It does seem like that. It does, but someone's going to have to. Someone's going to have to. Dana White just going to have to sort it out. Can't be getting to a stage where it's like boxing and people are avoiding the big fights. Tobes, who you telling me, my bro? What time is it? Shit, it's just past 6 a.m. here. So what? Are you still in Kenya? Are you back? Or my phone's all the way there. I keep forgetting. Big up Tobes, though, man. Man said UFC, thumbs down. Bro, how can you put thumbs down to this one? Your Nigerian brother just won his championship back. This one should be the one your thumbs are up. He's representing. Oh, you just landed? Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Back on Big Six tomorrow. Go subscribe to Toby as well, people, if you haven't already. Knockout round 2, 4 minutes 21 to go. Philippe says, confident about today's game. I am, I am. Tobe said this one was good though. Good KO. I thought it was looking peak for him. Yeah. Listen, that's... Sorry, they're just showing a few replays with the team talking over it. Cormier and Joe Rogan, and this shot just... Pereira looked so in control, but bang, rocked him. Bang, finished him. And just gave him one on the ground to rub salt in the wounds. Big up Adesanya, says Malcolm. Hopper says don't let him back on the Big Six. What about the fight at 4:30? We'll see. I'll be live for that as well. AFTV watch along. I'm there. Mr. Oxford says, let's talk about Salah and Nunes running riot today. Oh, mate. Kai says, you man haven't followed Izzy's career to be doubting him that much. I don't know who you're referring to there, but I've seen a lot of Adesanya. I just had doubts whether mentally, that you see with Usman Edwards, I went with Usman because I thought Usman will go in there and do what he does and get the win, play it safe. But you could see the mental effect that the loss had, the first Edwards or the Edwards Usman 2 fight had on Usman, and the way the fight panned out, it just seemed like Usman didn't really want to engage or get too close or take too many risks. So that made me think with Adesanya, is it going to be the same, considering he was winning the fight for the majority of time in the first one, and then out of nowhere you just get clipped and you lose it. But he came in, first round, kind of weighed it all up and just about won it, done enough to win it. And in the second round, he was on the ropes, considering the leg shot seemed to be doing damage, but came out of nowhere and just, the rest is history. The rest is history. Jafar Turkish, do you think today's boxing world, i.e. Fury, it's more of money than legacy? Man has been ducking fights. It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's not just Fury, but in general in the boxing world, it is that. It is more payday over legacy. And, people will make a lot of arguments for that. And I get that. I get it. But at the same time, if you love your sport and if you love your craft, then you want your legacy to be up there, because if your legacy is up there, then more often than not, your money's up there too. So, I have my gripes with that mentality. That Fury Usyk should be happening. Fury Joshua should have happened. I think it should be Fury Usyk and Joshua Wilder, and the winner of both, they fight each other. That's what I think it should be. But It looks like it's going to be Usyk someone else, Fury someone else, Joshua Dylan White, Wilder maybe Franklin. Like, it doesn't, you know, then they're not coming together like they should, in my opinion. But we'll see. We'll see what happens in boxing. Not gonna lie, we need a trilogy, says we do, but I think it'll be a little while till we see that. Where are we? That was incredible, says Dom. A third fight has to happen. Herman says it should be Joshua Wilder. It should be. It should be. I think Wilder does him, but I think, you know, to be honest with you, Fury Usyk, I got Fury, and Joshua Wilder, I got Wilder. And do I want to see Fury Wilder again? Not really, but I want to see those two fights. And if Wilder does dispatch of Joshua, then do I care for seeing Fury Joshua? Not really. I know it's a big UK fight and all that, but I don't really care. So that would make it interesting again for a little while. But right now, it just looks they're all going to fight who they're going to fight, and we'll be waiting another 12 months for negotiations for an undisputed fight come up back next. Where are we? None says no, that's dead. AJ Ruiz free. AJ just needs to loosen up for me, man. Like, back to basics. Going, like, we've talked about it a lot on this stream. You know, sometimes when you make too much money, that hunger and that mentality can not go, because I won't say it's gone, but it can have a big effect on performance. In a sport like UFC, in a sport like boxing, when life's good, when life is smooth at home, have you got that same, you know, are you going into a fight with that same heart as someone who's on the come up, who's struggled, that life was just around the corner for them, and they're coming up against a potential payday and a career maker? That's where, you know, with Joshua, I feel like he just became too safe in his style over the years. Made a lot of money, and now I just don't see how he gets that youthful hunger back. I guess that comes with youth as well, you know, going and trying to get the knockout every single time. Because AJ Ruiz too, that didn't impress me. I'll be honest. He won the fight, but it was just, he won it in the worst possible way, if that makes sense. It's similar to the Franklin one. Joshua won the fight, but in the worst possible way. It was just a points victory. Didn't really, you know, step outside his box. Didn't really take no risk. Didn't really try and knock him out. He just got the job done. And like I said, you won it, and it is a W, but there's more negatives taken away than positives. If Joshua went and just smoked Franklin 4 rounds, 6 rounds, then there'd be a lot more people calling for the Fury Joshua fight. But right now, I'm just thinking to myself, after that performance, I'd rather see Joshua Wilder go back to the drawing board with Fury Usyk, and then just do the winners of both against each other. So Ruiz damaged Joshua. He did. What do I think of Joe Joyce? Good question. I mean, I think he's good. I think he's definitely in with a shout for title shots and being a contender now. I guess if I'm looking at Fury Usyk and Joshua Wilder, then I'd probably do Joe Joyce, Dylan White. And I think Dylan White's, you know, best days are behind him, if you can call it that. But I think Joe Joyce, Dylan White, see how Joe Joyce dispatches of Dylan. Then he fights the loser of Joshua Wilder. So, you know, that's how it works. I'd assume Wilder wins it. So Joshua, Joe Joyce. You know, Joyce can throw a spanner in the works. But at the same time, I just think Fury, with his skill set, with his size, with his confidence, it's hard to really see past him, you know, beating any of these guys, Usyk and Joyce included. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. AJ's fighting White next. Yeah, that's what it seems like. Man said I got it all planned out. That would be ideal. But like I said, with boxing, it doesn't work like with UFC. You can kind of work out where things are going. You know, you can kind of work it out and hope for the best in terms of the big guys fighting the big guys, and even in the women's division, the big women fighting the big women. In boxing, you can never work it out. What you want to happen rarely happens. If it does happen, it happens when people don't, you know, well, people still care about it because of the hype, but it should have happened years ago. And that's been going on for a long time now. They're showing highlights of the Milan-Napoli game. Listen, people, 6:15 in the morning. My son's up real soon. So you know what time it is. It's time to wrap it up. I think I've gone through the super chats already. Listen, people, if you sent super chats, love for the love. If you can engage in the comment section, love for the love. Make sure you hit the like button. We've got over 300 now, and over 300 likes. Balance is up. Where if you're watching this after, hit the like button, people. Let's try and get it to 1,000. I know it's difficult on these streams. It's a late night one. Not many people tuned in, but we keep it moving. We're going to continue building. Hopefully, moving forward, one day previews, reviews of the UFC cards, boxing cards, as well as a watch along. That is the plan. So make sure you're tuned. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure the notification bell is on, and make sure you're here Monday night. Big Six will be back to review the weekend, the results so far, and the upcoming big game, Liverpool Arsenal 4:30. I'll see people when I see people. Tune into the AFTV watch along if you're interested in all that. If not, Big Six tomorrow night. Love for the love, people. I'm out. Peace.